Hey there, this is Teacher Ola Podcast, episode 347, Nice versus Kind. What's the difference? You read English, you understand English, you've been learning for years, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes and the words don't come out. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. My name's Ola and this is Teacher Ola Podcast. I'm here to help you finally speak out loud. This isn't about perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary, it's about your voice, your words, your real English. Today we're talking about two very simple words that can actually be quite confusing: nice and kind. They are often translated in the same way, but there is a difference between them, and we'll look at what this difference is, when to use each word, and why calling someone kind is usually a much stronger compliment than calling someone nice. And after that explanation, we'll practice together. You will hear some sentences and repeat them out loud, because speaking English is not only about understanding. Obviously, you need to train your mouth, your muscles to actually say the words. And before we start, I also want to remind you that my SIOL course, Say It Out Loud, starts on the 6th of August. We're beginning with Speaking Club Zero, our first introductory meeting and a welcome party. SIOL is for people who already know English but want to finally feel confident speaking it. If you're not sure whether the course level is right for you, you can complete the level test at teacherola.com/test. And if you'd like to join SIOL, make sure you sign up before the 6th of August. And now let's talk about the difference between nice and kind. Nice and kind are often translated into the same word in many languages, also in Polish, miły. So it's easy to think that they mean exactly the same thing. But in fact, they're actually different words. They overlap sometimes, right? In some cases, in some collocations, but they describe different qualities. And choosing one instead of the other can completely change how your compliment sounds. Let's start with the word nice. When you call someone nice, you're usually saying that they are pleasant, friendly, polite, or easy to get along with. It's more about the impression they make than about who they really are. It's about impression, so it's superficial. In fact, you don't even have to know someone very well to call them nice. You can meet someone for 5 minutes and think, or just 1 minute and think, oh, she seems really nice. That's why you'll often hear sentences like, she seems really nice, she seems really nice, or he was so nice to everyone, or they're such nice people. Your new teacher sounds nice. Notice how people often say seem and sound with nice. That's because nice is usually based on what you've seen so far, not on deep understanding of someone's personality. Another interesting thing about the word nice is that English speakers use it for almost everything. You can have a nice day, a nice meal, a nice holiday, a nice jacket, a nice restaurant, or a nice surprise. It's one of the most common positive adjectives in English, but because it's so often used, it can sound a little general. It tells you something is good, but it doesn't tell you exactly why. Now let's take a look at kind. This word goes much deeper. When you describe someone as kind, you're talking about their character. A kind person genuinely cares about other people. They help others. They show compassion. They think about other people's feelings. Kindness is something you notice through a person's actions, not just through their smile or good manners. Some really common examples are: she's always kind to children. He's one of the kindest people I've ever met. It was very kind of you to help. Thank you for your kind words. They've been incredibly kind to us. You can probably spot a pattern here. The word kind often appears with actions that involve caring, helping, supporting, and encouraging someone. We also talk about a kind gesture, a kind heart, kind words, and being kind to people or animals. Unlike nice, kind is almost never used to describe things. You can have a nice house, but not a kind house, right? Nice weather? Absolutely. Kind weather? Definitely not. Now, here's where the cultural difference becomes really interesting. In many cultures, if someone is polite and friendly, people automatically assume they're a good person. English speaking cultures often separate those two ideas. Someone can be nice because they have great social skills, they smile, they are polite, they make good conversation, and everyone enjoys talking to them. But that doesn't necessarily mean they are kind people. On the other hand, someone can be incredibly kind without being especially nice. Maybe they are quiet, serious, shy, or a bit blunt. They might not be the life of the party, but when you really need help, they are the first person to show up. That makes them kind, truly kind. That's why we often think of nice as describing someone's behavior, shallow behavior we only see, while kind describes values, personality, character, actions. This difference also changes the way compliment sounds. If someone says, "You're really nice," that's definitely a compliment. It means people enjoy being around you. You're friendly, you're pleasant, easy to talk to, and so on. But if someone says, "You're really kind," it usually feels much more meaningful. They are not just saying that they like you. They are saying they have noticed the way you treat other people. They are complimenting your character. That's also why people are usually much quicker to call someone nice than kind. Imagine you've just met your friend's neighbor, for example, and you might say, "She seems really nice," but you probably wouldn't say she's really kind. Like, how do you know? Why not? Well, because you simply don't know her that well and it's too early, right? Kindness usually takes time to discover. You have to see how someone behaves when people need help, when nobody's watching, or when being kind actually costs them something. So if someone calls you kind, it often means they've been paying attention to your actions for a bit of a longer period of time. Because of that, kind is generally considered the strongest compliment. I mean, maybe not the strongest, but stronger than nice. Definitely stronger than nice. You can look nice after 5 minutes, but people usually discover that you're kind and they appreciate it over time. And that's why when you're complimenting someone's personality after a first meeting, nice is often the most natural choice. But if you want to praise someone's character and who they are as a person, kind is almost always the more powerful. It's always the more powerful and meaningful compliment. Now it's time to practice. This isn't a lecture anymore. Now it's your chance to start using your mouth, your muscles. Repeat these sentences out loud and train your brain and your muscles, facial muscles, to produce natural English. Don't just read them silently and don't repeat in your head. That's not enough. That doesn't even count. Speaking out loud, that is the skill. And the only way to improve it is actually speaking. So let's go. She seems really nice. He was so nice to everyone. They're such nice people. Your new teacher sounds nice. You can have a nice day. She's always kind to children. He's one of the kindest people I've ever met. It was very kind of you to help. Thank you for your kind words. They've been incredibly kind to us. And before you go, remember to grab a free worksheet for this episode at teacherola.com/347. And if today's topic made you realize that knowing English words is one thing, but actually using them properly is a completely different skill, I want to invite you to take a look at SIOL. SIOL, say it out loud, is for those people who can already understand a lot of English, but when it's time to speak, they hesitate, search for words, and feel that their English doesn't come out as easily as they would like it to. Inside the course, we focus on turning passive knowledge into active speaking. You practice real conversations, useful everyday language, pronunciation, and the grammar you actually need to express yourself more naturally. If you want to see if SIOL is the right fit for you, go to siol.pl and have a look at the course details. And if you're still not sure whether your level is suitable, complete the test. The test is available at teacherola.com/test. teacherola.com/test. It will help you understand where you are now and whether this is the right next step for your English. Thank you so much for listening. Stay fearless, take care, and say it out loud. I love you, I believe in you, I know you are ready to speak English. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you've been listening to Teacher Ola Podcast. Bye for now.